Back in the day, when this man was considerably younger, I shared a flat with a friend in London, and she was a passionate Italophile. She loved everything about Italy. She went there at least once a year. She loved the country and knew many of its picturesque towns and villages. She loved the food, the climate, and the way of life. And she told me that she had always dreamed of learning Italian. She had friends there and wanted to speak with them in their own language instead of reverting to English all the time. So, for her birthday, I got her an Italian course, books and the accompanying CDs, the way people used to learn languages in those days long ago before the internet. I even offered to help her, as I had a modest intermediate level, having lived in Italy for a while. The months passed, but she never opened the books I gave her, and never once played the CDs. I asked her why, and she always came back with the same answer, and that was, she was just too busy at the moment. Although not too busy to spend hours watching inane reality TV shows or whole days spent preparing lavish meals for the dinner parties she proudly gave to her friends. Meanwhile, her Italian course gathered dust in her bedroom. Recently, I listened to a blog post by Mark Manson, the best-selling author of The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, amongst others. And he talks about this, not in terms of language learning, but what he says is that in life, we all have our dreams, our desires, our hopes and ambitions. You may, for example, want to open a cake shop or have a successful startup or have a perfect body. And what we do is we fall in love with the outcome of a long process, the result, if you like. But in order to succeed, what we have to do instead is fall in love with the process itself. We have to love doing the thing that'll get us to the desired outcome. So if you want to open that cake shop to be the talk of the town with the puffiest pastries and the creamiest buns and the butteriest croissants, if you want to have a successful patisserie business, you've got to fall in love with waking up at 5 a.m. every day, dealing with grumpy customers, unreliable suppliers, completing countless forms, doing your tax returns every few months, finding the right staff. But even though it's a drag, you kind of like it because you know it's part of the process that will take you where you want to go. You want to make millions with your startup and gain the respect and praise you're craving, and yes, rich. Not a little bit rich like your friend's father who owns that hairspray factory on the outskirts of town. No, super rich, the kind that flies his friends over on private jets for his birthday on his private island. But before you start interviewing for the position of bar steward on your yacht, you've got to know what it takes to get there. You're going to have to love working the 16-hour days, the 7 days a week that you'll have to do for a long time, and living with uncertainty and taking risks that may never pay off. You want to have a perfect body, the six-pack, the abs, good for you. But you're going to have to fall in love with going to the gym several times a week. Drinking water and vinegar for breakfast. You're going to have to sacrifice the coffee and donuts. Well, maybe not the coffee, but the donuts for sure. You have to forego the pepperoni pizza binges and weekday evenings at the Bengal Lancer Indian takeaway. Say goodbye to all that. But that's fine. You know what? I once went to the gym 3 times a week for about a year, and in the end, I gave it up. I guess I just preferred being a slightly chubby, middle-aged man addicted to cashew nuts. What has all this got to do with learning English, I hear you cry? Well, I've been teaching English for, over 15 years now. And when I meet a new student for the first time, the first question I ask is why? Why are you learning English? Is it for a job, to travel, to speak with friends and family abroad, to read books or understand TV shows or movies? Perhaps it's a mixture of all of those things. Why are you learning English, by the way? Answer in the comments. Now, there are many reasons, but what I find is that within a few minutes of meeting someone, I know if they are going to become fluent or not. And how do I know? I'll answer that question in a moment. But first, let me just say that unfortunately, for some people that start learning English, they want the rewards of fluency, but without the endeavour. Success at English, as it is with anything, is about falling in love with the process, not the result. You love having great conversations in English, but of course, you also love reading, you love studying the grammar, you love learning new vocabulary and new expressions, and most of all, you can't wait to watch the next Let Them Talk video, and you binge watch all our videos on a loop, and you tell all your friends and family to do the same. Okay, seriously, in brief, you take every opportunity you can to improve your English. But, and this is the important thing, not because you have to, but because you want to. It's a pleasure. We all learn a language in different ways. No two people are alike. But before you start imagining yourself performing in English with the greatest of ease before an interview panel for that dream job, before you think about impressing the hot barista at the local cafe with your witty repartee and remarkable English wordplay, before you project yourself to a time when you hold court at a dinner table with your English-speaking friends and engage with them with your fluent banter. Before you do any of these things, you have to know what it takes to get there. In short, what you shouldn't be thinking about is the destination. Don't think, oh man, this is going to be painful, but I have to do it. I really have to learn English. Don't think, could there possibly be a shortcut that is less painful? I don't really want to do this. Oh yeah, I saw a man. I saw this ad on the internet. This guy said he can teach English in 3 months without any effort and without learning grammar. Yeah, I'll go for that. Spoiler alert, that won't work. And we have a video about these fake methods up here. Check it out. Mastering in English takes time. If your English sucks, it's because you're focusing on the result and not the process. Instead, concentrate on how you are going to love the journey and what you need to do to get your English mojo working. And to finish what I was talking about earlier, how do I know? How do I know who is going to succeed and who is going to fail at getting fluent within a few minutes of meeting them? It's like this. For those that will fail, first come the excuses. Before they've even begun the fight. I'm not sure I can do this. I'm too old. Or, to really learn a language, you need to live in an English-speaking country. Let me address that first of all. Old or young, it makes virtually no difference. Young people have a quicker brain, perhaps, but older people have the experience. Do you have to live in an English-speaking country to learn English? Well, I guess it helps a little, but not as much as you think. Yes, you are surrounded by English and you have to use it in your daily life, and this gives you a small advantage, but I've met so many people who speak English amazingly well but have never lived or sometimes even never visited an English-speaking country. So don't use that as an excuse. I've also met a lot of people who've lived in the UK for years and whose English is, shall we say, pretty mediocre. What else? What are the other signs that I see? It's those who ask, how many hours do I need to become fluent? How many lessons do I need to take? Okay, they're thinking about the result, they're not thinking about the journey. The ones who say, I need to pass an English exam, what do I have to do? Now, it may be counterintuitive, but students who don't get obsessed by the exam tend to do better at it. And the other thing they say is, I would like to study more, but I don't have the time. I'm a busy person. Come on, who isn't a busy person? Are you a busy person? I bet you are, unless you're watching this in prison. So who are the ones that succeed? People like you, I hope. You who put in the hard work and effort because you enjoy it so much. You don't seek shortcuts and easy solutions. You are also busy, but somehow you find the time because it's a passion. You build routines that work. You have a thirst for knowledge. You surround yourself with the English language. You are always learning, always improving. Sail off into the deep blue ocean, my friends, but don't consult the map. You'll get to your destination in the end, but for the moment, just enjoy the voyage. Love the journey and not the destination. Now stop watching this video and get to work. I'm Gideon, stay mellow. See you next time on Let Them Talk TV. I'm out of here. Bye.